What's going on, guys? It's Josh and
John, and this is 4-Point Play.
And today we're going to be talking about the Western Conference playoffs. And right off the bat, I think Golden State has it locked in again.
I wouldn't be so sure. I think Houston has a good shot.
I mean, I see why people are saying it. You have to give a shot to a team that's going to outshoot the best shooting team in the league. But when it comes to Golden State, you got 4 all-stars. You got 4 players that are going to play the entire game, both sides of the ball.
Right.
Even though people say Steph Curry's not a good defender, he plays good team defense. He gets steals. He gets his hands in the passing lanes. And he does his job. He helps when he has to. He doubles down when he has to. And we already know James Harden, not a big fan of defense. He doesn't like playing it. He's going to be a guy. It's hard to hide him against the Golden State Warriors because everyone on their team's a threat. And even they're throwing Nick Young, and you're going to put Nick Young or Harden on Nick Young, he's still going to be hitting threes sometimes. So.
I mean, but to the same extent, you can put him on Klay Thompson and just say, all right, just make sure he doesn't shoot. Because, I mean, he's not going to take you off the dribble, and if he does, you're going to live with it. Because Harden's going to be doing the same thing on the other end. You've got Chris Paul and Harden, which is, like, possibly the best point guard, shooting guard, or both point guards combo in the NBA, right? In my opinion. Plus, you've got tons of three-point shooting surrounding them, and Clint Capella, who has turned into it like a monster.
Yeah, I think we see Houston taking a game off Golden State. I'd say I'd give him a game, a guaranteed game. I'd say I'd give him a guaranteed game off Golden State because I think the Clint Capella is just going to overwhelm Golden State. And maybe in the first game of the series, he might overwhelm them, especially playing in Houston.
I mean, you're going to have to play Zaza or JaVale McGee against Clint Capella.
JaVale McGee's been giving them valuable minutes, man.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, that I feel the same way.
Zaza's useless,
but they don't give that many minutes to JaVale.
I think he's just because they usually go with their death lineup, and it's Iguodala, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green. And that lineup, if you keep Clint Capella on it, it's going to be scary.
Right.
For the Rockets, because it's going to be mismatches across the court, especially when they get into pick and roll, and you have Clint Capella changing on to Kevin Durant.
But I
pick is going to be a scary isolation.
You roll pick and roll, and who's guarding Clint Capella?
The team. You got Kevin Durant's lanky butt down there.
Okay, then you fire skip past to the 3-point shooter. Like, I mean, see, the thing is they just have so much 3-point shooting that if they just run a pick and roll, then you have to have help defense coming for Clint Capella, or else he'll just finish at the rim, or you just have an open 3-point shooter. And I feel like their offense is so good. And, I mean, Golden State's defense is very good. But, I mean, Mike D'Antoni's philosophy is our offense is just so much better that it doesn't matter which.
Yeah, but we've also seen Mike D'Antoni have these teams where he had the Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash and everybody, and they're going into the playoffs. Everyone's like, Phoenix is going to win, and it doesn't sustain. Like, that type of offense doesn't sustain. A running gun, just we're going to outshoot you, 3s over 2s. It's not going to last against a team, especially like Golden State, who can get it done inside out.
But
primarily,
to the same extent, has he ever had a roster this talented? That's this suited to his offense. Everyone can shoot. And you add in the couple of players that can play defense, like PJ Tucker, Bamute,
Ariza.
Those kind of people. Yeah, Ariza, exactly. Yeah, you add those guys in, and it's looking like a scarier type team.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the most interesting matchups, and not only the Western Conference, just the overall playoffs. I wish that was the finals matchup we got to see. We're not going to, unfortunately. We're gonna see one of those teams probably go to the finals and.
Right.
Destroy anybody coming out of the East.
I feel like Toronto could give those teams.
I think Toronto gives Houston a harder chance than they do Golden State.
Right, because no one matches up with Kevin Durant.
But no one does on Houston either. No one in the league matches up with Kevin Durant except for LeBron, and even then we saw last year Kevin Durant.
LeBron didn't even guard him that much, did he?
He had some possessions, but yeah, they were throwing random people on him. But even then, you still saw Kevin Durant took that matchup last year in the finals, so it's like...
Right. I mean, I feel like we've kind of jumped the gun here, and we haven't talked about the other teams, too, that could have a chance. You know, it's not necessarily for sure going to be Golden State and Houston. And, I mean, it's an interesting conference when you look at the bottom because the 6 to 10, I believe, are all extremely close.
Yeah, they're all
anything could happen with
2-3 games.
Right.
like a team like Minnesota, if they end up dropping to the 8th seed, that could be an interesting matchup for Houston in the first series with
I just feel like they can't play defense.
In Minnesota?
Karl Anthony Towns can't play defense that well.
Yeah.
Neither can Wiggins. You got Jimmy Butler, who's a beast, who's on offense and defense, one of the best wing players in the league.
Teague, who's been struggling all year.
I mean, yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, they added Derrick Rose, which I don't know if that was a good move for them, to be honest. I
saw the other day he had 6 minutes and he was a minus 17 in those 6 minutes against Golden State.
And I mean, their backup point guard, Tyus Jones, has been really good.
Yeah, I don't know why I think they just picked him up to kind of give
another option.
Thibodeau and Jimmy Butler that extra comfort within that. Those three all played in Boston together. They had some success together. I just don't think Derrick Rose fits in that system at all.
But if Derrick Rose starts taking away minutes and it starts hurting Minnesota, then why? I guess that's the issue you have to look out for.
Yeah, for sure.
Will San Antonio miss the playoffs?
I have to wait for that one. I'm not gonna lie, just because it all depends on Kawhi. It depends on what he does when he comes back. If he can come back and all of a sudden we just find out that this quad injury has just been, them hiding it and just keeping Kawhi for this last kind of push. They figured
that doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
There's an injury for sure, but why would they just save him until now?
What do you mean save him for the playoffs? Because they know that they're going to win 50+ games with Kawhi in the lineup. They know that for a fact. So why not take Kawhi out, hide him with this injury because you can't rest players anymore, strengthen the rest of your core, and then just throw in the best two-way player in the league back. Because he's going to be, no matter what system you put Kawhi in, he's going to be successful.
Something weird is happening there.
Because I don't think it's a legitimate. I think they're just kind of keeping him because they all year they've been saying he's going to come back for playoffs. That's always been the talk.
But I mean that was the length of the injury, the severity of it, kind of thing.
But he played 5-6 games this year, and they just randomly stopped playing.
There's something weird going on, but there's definitely some kind of injury.
This could just be the emergency.
But did you see him limping off the plane and stuff like that?
But then again, that could just be an act because you never see
Kawhi an act.
Yeah, you can never see Kawhi doing anything else. So, I think the Spurs are going to pull it out. I trust Greg Popovich. They haven't missed the playoffs in 20 years. The last time they were in this position, they were 11. Their worst season they've ever had. They had 12 wins or something, and then the next year they had 50+ wins. Greg Popovich turned it around.
To a certain extent though, too, they were third seed for most of the season until recently. They've just been losing a lot.
Yeah, and they had a hard schedule. They played Golden State. They're playing Golden State again. They play Houston, I think, twice. They play. I'm pretty sure they go over and play Cleveland. They play the Thunder a few times. So they have a pretty hard schedule coming up.
I think they had the hardest.
I think they do have it
post All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely going to be tough for them, but I feel like
I think they'll make it in past potentially. Me, I like Utah. I think they'll squeeze in over Utah, and even the Clippers.
I feel like the Clippers might fall out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I feel like it could happen.
Yeah, I can see it. And you see Denver and
they kind of started
Utah
tanking.
slipping in. Yeah, true. I don't know though, because I think that Blake Griffin trade kind of made them deeper.
It did.
You look at the last time Doc Rivers was successful, and that was in Boston, and his team was literally 13-man deep. He had the deepest team in the league.
Right.
And they still lost to my Lakers, but him having a 13-man roster where he has 13 people that can get the job done consistently.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where Doc Rivers excels, and I think that's what they did was get 13 role players that are just going to play basketball and not have one player that's going to be, I need the ball almost every single possession. Everything has to run through me. He wants a team. He wants a bunch of unselfish people.
So which two teams drop out for you?
I still say Clippers and I'd say Clippers and Utah, unfortunately.
Clippers and Utah?
I think Utah is just too inexperienced. They're still pretty new with Ricky Rubio. Donovan Mitchell still getting used to it. The Clippers, I just don't think they have the star power to do it.
Right.
I think, but then again, you never know San Antonio if they can sustain or they can pick their socks back up, I guess, and keep playing.
Right.
I think.
But Kawhi might be coming back soon.
Mm-hmm. If Kawhi comes back and Kawhi comes back doing Kawhi things, it's going to be.
If Kawhi comes back as the Kawhi of last year, then it could be a problem.
I think San Antonio shoots right back up if that happens. If he comes back the same as last year.
For me, the two that I think are going to drop out, you're going to be surprised here, but Minnesota and Denver.
Really?
Yeah, so the reason I think Minnesota is going to drop out is Jimmy Butler's injured. And I feel like he's the reason for a lot of their success.
So wait, you're saying the Pelicans are a better team than the Timberwolves?
I mean, with the way Anthony Davis is playing right now. It depends on Anthony Davis keeping that up. But the issue is, for me, without Jimmy Butler, that team's becomes so much less scary.
Yeah, fair enough. I see that. I think one problem with Minnesota is even when Jimmy Butler's healthy, Andrew Wiggins' production level is really, really low.
Right.
I think Andrew Wiggins has a lot of potential, and I think Jimmy Butler was meant to come in and help him develop, and I think they brought him in, and Tom Thibodeau's just forget Andrew Wiggins. Forget Andrew Wiggins. Let's just go straight to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's going to ice games. Jimmy Butler's going to do all these things, and he's not really worrying about the development of Wiggins right now.
If Jimmy Butler comes back and then I think they're fine. If he can come back with enough time in the season to win them a couple games in a row.
But I'm curious on your Denver pick. You really think you don't believe in Jokic and Paul Millsap?
Their offense is amazing, but I think they have the same issue. They can't play defense.
Defensive team. Fair enough.
I mean, they're a really interesting team. They'll be really good in the next couple of years, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they'll be able to squeak into the playoffs this year.
Fair enough.
I mean, we're also, I don't know, because the issue is Utah has been so hot right now. I mean, they've been playing.
I'm just gonna say due to Donovan Mitchell's play. That's all I'm gonna say.
And Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
him coming back from injury is.
You also got to give Rudy Gobert, some credit for that team because he's probably one of, if not the best rim protector. And low post defending, like big, and he grabs boards and keeps plays alive. I watched some Utah the other night, and he kept like 6 possessions in a row just alive, just tapping the ball, and he does it continuously. So I think he's definitely a guy you always have to give credit to.
Yep.
So let's go to matchups. So if the playoffs ended today, right now you got Houston,
Utah, I guess. Because, I mean, there's a 3-way tie.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure in the real standings on NBA.com, San Antonio's actually 10th because of their home record. So I think, or their road record, sorry. So San Antonio is the lowest there, and I think it is Utah at 8. So it'd be Houston, Utah.
That's a sweep.
Yeah, it's a sweep. It's a clean sweep. Golden State, Clippers, clean sweep. Portland, Minnesota. See,
that'd be interesting.
I think if Minnesota gets Jimmy Butler,
they definitely have a chance if Jimmy Butler comes back, but I don't know. I feel like they're really Portland's really determined to win.
Yeah, I think the problem with that is if Jimmy Butler does come back, and if he's back, he's most likely gonna get the matchup of guarding Damian Lillard.
Okay.
And Damian Lillard's gonna have a tough time trying to get around 6'6" Jimmy Butler, who's one of the best wing defenders in the league. So I think that's gonna be hard. And also, you already know Jimmy Butler's gonna take Damian Lillard from start of the game to finish of the game, the entire series, and still be able to produce on offense.
Right.
And also,
but you still have CJ McCollum. Like, I mean, either one of them has the potential to go off for
100%. That's
30, 40 points any game.
Mm-hmm. But I think the Minnesota, being able to play down low, I think Cat's just gonna edge Nurkic no matter what. I think Cat's just overall better
it's definitely a possibility, but that's still a strong it's not a horrible matchup for Portland.
For sure. I just think I think Minnesota. It all depends on Jimmy Butler. I think if Jimmy Butler comes back, I edge it to Minnesota in 6. If he stays out, I edge it to Portland in 6. So I still think
I'd
Minnesota
give Portland in 7.
Yeah, you think it's gonna be Game 7?
Yeah.
Regardless of Jimmy Butler.
That's including Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. And this is the big topic of the Western Conference is the Oklahoma City Thunder and the New Orleans Pelicans. So I think the Oklahoma City Thunder, at one point, I honestly had my second thoughts if they're even going to make the playoffs. They were pretty trash for a while. They're sitting at the 8th seed, and I was just like, wow. This just proves my theory of, not even theory, just it proves that Curry is better than Westbrook. Do you really think Oklahoma City has a chance in these playoffs?
I think they can beat the Pelicans.
Yeah, I think so. I think if Pelicans saw Boogie, different story.
It would be a way more interesting series. But
different
I feel
story.
I'd give it to OKC in 5 or 6.
I'd say 6, just because I think Anthony Davis in the playoffs is just going to have a few monster games, and no, I don't think really any team except for like Minnesota really has a true answer man to man for Anthony Davis.
Who would?
Like I think Cat has the best shot in the West right now, or Draymond, at putting up a fight against
Okay.
AD. Like I don't see Clint Capella having a good matchup against AD because AD's going
Right.
to take him outside and just kind of blow by him.
I mean, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
but I mean,
AD's
Steven Adams is a very good player as well.
Yeah,
and
but
I
I don't-
feel
I
like
don't
he
think-
doesn't get credited for OKC's the success that they've had enough.
See, but this is the problem with Steven Adams is if he's gonna be guarding Anthony Davis is a smart guy. And he's just gonna be like, I can handle the ball. I'm just gonna
Right.
come outside, call an ISO, and beat you off the dribble. And they're gonna put someone smaller on him, and he's just gonna take him down low. And
I
post
feel
up.
like you
So
would
it's-
you would want to put Steven Adams on him though.
You
live with
yeah
whatever
you
happens.
yeah if you can live with AD beating you outside,
Right.
but it's still gonna be a matchup nightmare for him. Like AD's still gonna drop
you
like
still have
30 plus.
Paul George.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook is still a very good player.
No, of course.
And I feel like they'd struggle to contain that duo. I mean, potentially, Carmelo Anthony, not the biggest fan of his play
game,
right
but-
now, but he still has the potential to be an impact player.
He's a good
right?
catch and shoot guy, I
Right.
think. And
And
I
in
think-
that role,
Mhm.
he'd be
I
very
think-
good for them. Yeah.
I think Oklahoma City edges that, and probably 6, I'd say. I think Pelicans could take a game or two off them.
I'd go with 5.
Yeah, you give them 5.
Yeah.
And also with Roberson going down,
That is a
Uh,
huge
that was one thing
loss.
people always were like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. Like that's probably better for them because he can't score or anything." And I'm like,
His
yeah,
defense was a big
that's
deal for them. Yeah.
but that's the thing is people undervalued his defense and
Right.
saw what he did on that side of the court. So like, you really see now where even though Paul George is one of the best two-way players in the game,
Mhm.
they still struggle without that extra piece of their starting lineup. So, I don't know if the Thunder will destroy the Pelicans, but I think they'll still beat that or win that series.
Right.
And then going into the next round, we have the Thunder playing off against the Rockets. See, that's another thing that's why I
Yeah.
think Houston's gonna have a harder time at going to the finals because they have a harder way of getting there. Essentially, like the Warriors play the Clippers, that's an easier matchup than
Or
the Jazz.
Portland.
That'd be the hardest. But even then, I think Golden State just in the playoff series
Yeah,
just
that's you've
torches
got
them. Like
Steph
it doesn't.
and Clay versus
People are always like, "Oh,
yeah.
Damian Lillard always has a crazy good game against the Warriors in the regular season." It's like, but it's the regular season. When he gets into
Didn't they-
playoffs,
didn't they play in the playoffs? What was that last year?
I think that was a few years ago because I think
Okay.
Portland actually missed the playoffs last year.
Okay,
I'm
well,
mistaken.
I just remember Damian Lillard saying Portland in 6.
Yeah, and then they got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that series. Don't
Yeah.
worry. I
So
remember Damian Lillard-
I feel like Golden
Dallas
State
Thunder.
has a really they take that in 4.
Oh, that's what I mean. Is like
Maybe
even then,
5.
like another thing that people always forget is like Kevin Durant is unstoppable in the playoffs, except for that one series that the Warriors reverse swept him.
Right.
And
mean-
even like if he can continue playing basketball the way he's been playing, and then you get Curry back in, and Curry's playing the way he's playing,
Right.
they're unbeatable. Like Durant's averaging like 30 in the
I
last
feel
two
like
games since Curry's been injured, and then Curry's been averaging 27 a game
Houston
this
has
year.
a chance.
Oh, they have a shot.
But I feel like Houston can beat OKC in 6.
Yeah, I think Houston beats OKC in 6. I think we see James Harden struggle that series though, because of
You still have Chris
Paul
Paul.
George. That's
all
why
those other players. Like,
yeah, that's why I edge it to. I think Houston is more prepared for the playoffs than Oklahoma City is.
right.
But I think that's the series we're going to see James Harden struggle the most. I think he's going to
That's
have a
fair
really
enough,
good
yeah.
series against Golden State.
Which would be the Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
Golden State,
Houston.
which would be a crazy series.
I think that's going to be a fun series to watch, and that's the series that I'm hoping happens and the one I'm most looking forward to.
There. Houston, Golden State. What do you think?
I give Golden State in 6, I'd say. I give it to them in 6.
I'd have
Um,
Golden State in 7. I like the way Houston's roster is constructed.
I just wouldn't be surprised, though, if we see Golden State dominate them. Just because
I'd
I
be
think
surprised
Golden
if
State,
they dominate. I feel like Houston
I
can
don't-
have some good games.
I don't know. I
against
think
them.
Golden State's just this isn't new to them anymore. This is just them. They're just expecting this for the next 10 years.
I still feel like Houston can make it a competitive series.
Oh, I think
even
it's going to
with-
be competitive, and I think
a
it
fully
might
healthy-
it might be what I said with the Eastern Conference, where games are going to be close, but it might still look like
right.
you
It
know
could
like
still go
it
to
could be a
5
5
or
games,
4,
but
yeah.
games might be like
Closer.
decided by 1 or 2.
Right.
But Golden State might still dominate the series in the sense that they might only lose 1 game.